Welcome to my channel, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas, at least to the extent that Christmas could be enjoyed in 2020. Well, now that the wrapping is off the presents, it's time to play with the trains. Today I'm going to be unboxing Kato's N-scale starter set with the Amtrak P42 engine and the Superliner cars. This is set number 106-0017. And it comes with one locomotive, 3 passenger cars, the unit track system. There's enough track to make a small oval, and it comes with a controller. This is going to be the start of a new N Gage layout for me. Today I'm just going to unbox it. I had hoped to unbox it, temporarily set it up, and run it, but the largest table I have is just a little bit too small, and as ever the cats are acting up. Okay, let's get started. Okay, you can see this is well packaged in styrofoam with a plastic cover. I mail ordered this set and was relieved that it arrived with no visible damage. Alright, we'll start with the fun stuff first. I've seen a lot of unboxings where they save the cars for last, but I know a lot of people are not going to watch the full video, so let's start with the trains. So all 4 units come boxed in a nice clear plastic case, the kind that you would get from the hobby shop if you were buying these individually. The locomotive has an extra layer of bubble wrap to protect it. That's just extra protection for shipping. It has literally been half a lifetime since I was into model railroading, and you forget just how small and seemingly fragile these N Gage trains are. This one seems to have some good weight to it. It has a good feel. I'm not sure what these accessories are, but in the box it says something about installation of magnetic trip pins in the coupler. It's something I'm going to have to learn about as I get back into the hobby. Okay, this one's called out as the sleeper car. It's double-decker. You probably can't see it with the camera, but there's actually the little partitions between the seats that would divide up the rooms. It's pretty light compared to the engine. It's number 3254. Yeah, and it does say by the door, really tiny print, it does say sleeping car. Car number 34039. And this one, I don't know how well you could see in the windows, it just has your regular seats. And last but certainly not least, we have the lounge car number 33003. This is the one I'd like to ride in. It's got these extra windows up top that you'd be able to see the sky. And some of the seats actually face, so instead of having to turn your neck to look out the window, you could just sit facing the window. Sign me up, get me a ticket on that car. So the most important thing after you have your train cars is having some track to run them on. And this is one of the biggest changes I'm noticing since I was last into model railroading. When I had my model railroad as a child, you used to get the rails and ties and long lengths, I believe 3 feet long, and then you had to lay down cork bed and then you had to nail the tracks down. Now there were some sets back then where you could get a modular rail like this and snap the sections together, but it didn't look particularly good. It looked kind of toy-like. What I noticed right away about these Kato unit track sections is how good they look. The ties are nice and fine, the ballast is well molded, and with a little bit of light wash you could really make that look pretty realistic without a whole lot of effort. So whether I'm going to buy more of this when I do my layout or not yet, I don't know. I'm going to see how I like it when I test run it and play with it for a while. I like what I see so far, and this may be an easier way to build a layout quickly. Okay, so this is the track they supply you to create your starter oval. It comes with 4 9 3/4 inch straight sections, 2 2 7/16 inch straight sections, one of which is where you plug in the power. This is where the controller would plug into. The second piece is just to balance it out. And then you get 1 4 7/8 inch piece of straight track. And then the same length you get the crossing track. And what I remember from years ago, that's the easiest place to actually put the trains onto the rails. And then lastly, you get 8 45-degree curved sections at a radius of 12 3/8 inches, meaning your total turn diameter is going to be 24 3/4 inches. Very important piece of this set, obviously, is the ability to control the trains, and you have your controller here. Pretty simple. You have your forward, off, reverse, and then this would control your speed. And here's where you would plug it into the wall, and here's where you would connect it to that starter track. There's an additional positive and negative terminal here. I assume that means you can run this off battery power, but I have to look into that. This is just the power cord for the transformer. And here you have the wires for connecting it to the starter track. And then this pack here just has a tool for working with the connectors on the tracks and 2 plastic plates for the crossing. So if you have an N Gage car, you could drive it up over the rails. And if you buy one of these, take note that there's an extra tray on the bottom of the styrofoam. It says instruction sheet enclosed in this tray. You can also store trains and Unitrack in this tray. That's pretty cool. It just pulls out. You don't have to cut anything or disassemble the box. It literally just slides out. Okay, I'm glad I found this. This was slipped in the plastic bag with the instructions that was in the tray. This is a re-railer. I had seen that the kit was supposed to come with it, and I'm glad it did. N Gage trains can be a little tricky to put on the track by hand, so this helps. You put this on the rail, and I'll demonstrate this when I set it up, but then you just roll the cars onto the rail and you're good to go. Okay, so when I actually take the time to read the instructions, this little bag of parts that came with the Genesis locomotive, they're actually detail parts. And this guide here, I'm not going to put them on in the duration of this video, but this little instruction sheet will tell you what to do with those. And then this just comes with a nice instruction booklet. Eventually we're going to see this running, just not today. And I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, including my own, but it's probably going to be a while till I get back to this. When you combine my day job with some client projects with the classes I'm going to be taking in the spring, it's going to be a while until I can get something cleared in the basement and get this set up. So now that I've unboxed it, even though I haven't been able to run it, what do I think? Well, I gotta say it's very nice. Some things have obviously changed a lot since I was last into model railroading, and some things aren't that different. I only own one Kato locomotive from my childhood. It's a Reading Railroad diesel. I don't remember what model. But I gotta say, out of all the diesel engines I ever owned, that one was by far the best. It's a good brand. The locomotive here and the cars all have a good feel in my hand. When I was positioning them on the track for photos, the cars wanted to roll away on their own, even though this desk is pretty level. So the wheels have very little rolling resistance. That's good. Should run good. Hopefully be reliable. The detailing on the locomotive and cars is really nice. There's very fine striping on it. There's very fine lettering on it. This is my first experience with the Unitrack system. I've got to say, when I ordered it online, I thought, well, that'll be kind of toy-like to play with for a bit, and then I'll replace it with the, quote, real track and the cork bed. But I've got to say I like the look of it. I could see doing a little bit of weathering, a little bit of, black wash to the ballast or brown wash to really, make it look more natural. But it doesn't need much. I got to say it looks really good right out of the box. The instruction manual shows a lot of different configurations. If you get the different pieces, I may end up just using the Unitrack, the modular track, when I create a layout. I mean, I haven't designed the layout yet. Heck, I got to figure out what space I have to work with in the basement before I can even do that. But I like what I see. I really wish I could comment on how it runs, but we're going to have to save that for another day. But eventually, if you follow this channel long enough, that video will pop up. And then I'll build my railroad from there. For now, I'm happy with my purchase. I think this is a great way to get back into model railroading. I'm eager to find my old trains from my childhood to see what I actually have to add to this. Well, that's going to be all today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the unboxing. If you decide to get into model railroading, a starter set like this is a good way to get going. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.